Hey guys, Easy here. So today we're gonna do the review for Meliodas, the Dragon Sin. Alright, so let's get into his artwork. His artwork looks like this. He looks like this. He has the little bear hat coat that he has in the anime. Looks pretty good. Okay, so Meliodas' leadership skill is raises HP by 30%, raises physical attack by 20%, magic attack by 20%, and stop resistance by 30% for dark units. He's rocking the 3 jobs. He's rocking the Dragon Sin. He's rocking the Dragon Cavalier. He's rocking the Dark Cavalier, which he got his JEs for. He got the Dark Cavalier Espion JE and he got the Dragon Cavalier Rudra JE. So let's go over his Enlightenment. His Enlightenment is kind of tricky. Meliodas. He has access to all 5 of his gates right now, but his recommendations for me are as follows. So his gate 1 gives him HP, physical attack, magic attack, and agility. When you max out his gate 1, the gate of envy, you get additional mastery bonus of HP, physical attack, and crit. His gate of slot. His gate of slot gives him physical defense, magic defense, crit, and hit rate. It changes his overdrive passive, which is from the Dark Cavalier, into Captain Spirit, which gives him physical attack, magic attack, cast, auto duels, and reduces physical defense and magic defense. So this overdrive passive essentially is when you max out this gate of slot and it turns it into the Captain Spirit, the overdrive passive gets an additional 10% physical attack and 5 dual charge rate. So it gets a 10% upgrade and 5 dual charge rate attached to it. It's not too bad. Right, his Gate of Lust. His Gate of Lust, it gives him HP, Dex, evasion rate, and agility when you get it to the 3rd level. When you max out the Gate of Lux, it changes the leadership skill to raise its HP by 30%, physical attack by 20%, all attack by 20%. So this means physical attack and magic attack, and stop resistance by 30% for dark units. So the change here is it changes the magic attack portion of this passive to all attack passive. So you'll essentially get another 20% increase on all his physical attacks and his magic attacks. It's pretty neat. His Gluttony Gate. So the Gate of Gluttony gives him HP, physical defense, magic defense, and hit rate. When you max out this Gate 4, Gate of Gluttony, you get additional bonus of HP, physical attack, Dex, and you also get damage versus the slot and damage versus the rat syntax. And now let's move on to his Gate 5, Gate of Rat. Okay, so his Gate of Rat gives him HP, physical defense, magic defense. It gives him agility and crit rate. However, I don't have the 3rd level in this right now, so you won't see it. But when you get the 3rd and 4th level, I believe you get additional 1 agility for 3rd level and additional 2 agility for the 4th level. When you max out this Gate of Rat, it enhances the following skills here. It enhances Wrathful Retribution, Darkbringer, and Rudra Cross. Let's start with the Wrathful Retribution. The Wrathful Retribution skill is his buff skill he has on his main's abilities. It's a buff that quadruples his own magic attack and physical attack and lowers his physical defense and magic defense to 1. So the change that this skill gets is it's a 3 charge skill that costs 20 joules. It changes that to a 5 charge skill that costs 15 joules, so you can use this skill 5 times. That's essentially it, to be honest. The Darkbringer skill, I believe turns into Hazardous Bringer, which increases the modifier from 110% to 150%. And it also gives it a strong versus light modifier attached to it. And the Rudra Cross skill, which gets upgraded, it changes it to Rudra Crisscross, I believe is what they'll call it on global. It changes it from a 140% modifier to 170% modifier, and the damage versus demons that's on that gets upgraded from a 50% to a 120%. So my recommendations for Meliodas. So of course we want to max the gate 1 for the HP and the bulk of the stats it gives you. After the gate 1 we max, you want to max the gate 2. Because the gate 2 gives you additional 10% physical attack and 5 jewel charge. Yeah, 5 jewel charge is not huge, but it's still something, you know. And then after that, it all depends on you and the resources you have. After you max these 2 gates, because these are my priorities to be honest. After you max these 2 gates, you can either max the gate 5 if you want to play a manual play for raids, because 5 quadruple physical attack and magic attack buffs is pretty huge. You get to use this 5 times on raid bosses, which is gonna make you do a shitload of damage. So if you wanna use him in manual play in raids, I highly recommend you max his gate 5. If you're all about that autoplay life and you don't have enough resources to max the gate 5 and the gate 4, I highly recommend if you just want to use him for autoplay, you max the gate 4 first. So you can get additional stats and you get damage versus syntax. So yeah, so there's 2 ways you can do. And then the gate tree, you don't really want to max the gate tree unless you really want to use his leadership skill. But we're getting into the the Memento leadership skill era. You can probably just use those instead. So the recommendations for him are as follows. If you want to use him for autoplay, it's 5, 5, 3, 5, and then probably 2 to 3 here. If you want to use him for raid manual play, it's 5, 5, 2 to 3 here, 2 to 3 here, and 5. This is for a raid manual play. And then for general use, you don't have the resources to max his gate 4 or his gate 5. You want to prioritize his gate 1 and his gate 2. Everything else you can put stats into the points into them as you see fit. Okay, now let's review his passive and stuff. Okay, for the passive that we're going to use on Meliodas, there's 2 options you can run. First of all, the Captain Spirit passive. You can run this if you really want to. It gives you 15% agility and 15% HP and 10% agility. However, you can run his Snowball also, which is the Dragon Sin of Wrath. When he receives damage, he gets 10% increase on physical attack, magic attack, and 3% on agility. This stacks up to 5 times, which gives 50% physical attack increase, 50% magic attack increase, and 15% agility increase. For his reactive, you would primarily use full counter, which returns magic damage received to the attacker with double damage, and also it can be activatable by skill. So if a mob uses skill, it would reflect it back to the mob and these double the damage that the mob hits you with. This is a range 3, high 3 skill. If you think you're gonna be fighting a lot of mobs that do physical attacks on you, you can run HP drain, as you know it still gives you some HP back. You know, you don't get anything. It's not like you don't get anything back. And for his ability setup, you would like to run the demonic sword main. You can run the demonic sword sub. Also, you can run this if you really want to use the retribution blade. Then you have the option of using the high jump if you really want to. It all depends on what you would like to do. But from all intensive purposes, you would like to run the demonic sword main and demonic sword sub, which is his main job. Okay, now let's go over the free memento that he received when he got released. So his free mementos, Legendary Order of Knights. The base stat is physical defense. It has this group skill here with who bears the sin. It gives Meliodas physical attack, stun resistance, and sleep resistance. I believe when you max limit break it, it gives 40 physical attack, plus 12%, plus 12 for max limit break-in. 12 for max limit break-in, so he gets 52 physical attack, he gets 52 stun resistance and 52 sleep resistance. Also with the limit break bonus, he gets 40 magic attack. It also gives him access to this VCR. The VCR is called 7 Deadly Sins Wanted Poster. So the 7 Deadly Sins Wanted Poster, you get it gives you HP 10% fire resistance, 10% water resistance, 10% wind resistance, 10% thunder resistance, 10% dark resistance, 10% light resistance, and 5 area attack resistance. It also gives Meliodas access to the gear ability, which gives him raise all stats of ally units around self for 3 turns. It's a 30% increase to HP, physical attack, physical defense, magic attack. Dex, it's a 15% agility increase, it's a 30% crit, and it's 30% luck increase, which is a nice buff. He gets a better memento later on from the gacha, so you can use the free one, or you can try to roll for the gacha memento, as the gacha memento is way better. Okay, so his gear. His gear is the demonic sword, Lost Vein. It gives him physical attack plus 30, magic attack plus 35. It gives him 10% reaction block, and also gives him access to the gear ability. Sacred Treasure, Release, Lost Vein. It's pretty good. So let's get into a map, and we can showcase Meliodas' skills. Okay, now that we have Meliodas pulled up, I'm gonna review the setup that we would like to run him as. Alright, for the purposes of this video, we're gonna run him with his own Memento, we're gonna run him with his gear, we're gonna run him with Tamamo VCR, and for the third gear slot, we're gonna run him with Legion God Necklace. For the third gear, you have the option of running him with Levi's Teacup for raids. You have the option of running him with NP Mark for the extra damage. I don't have NP Mark, so I can't run him as it. You have the option of running him with Ring of the Bright Knight, which gives him nice jewels and crit. You have the option of running him with Ultimate Scarf for the regen. You have the option of running them with Wanderer's Hat, Fujika VCR. You have a lot of options. You can even run them with this if you really want to. For the second gear slot, which we use for like his HP gears, you can run him with his VCR from the free Memento, but I don't have it, so I can't run it to showcase it. You can run him with the Tamamo VCR. You can run him with Regen, you can run him with Ultimate Scarf, you can run him with Life Belt, you can run him with Aegis Guard. Like, you have a lot of options. You can run him with Rainbow Armor, Arm of Mystical Dark. Like, you have a few options you can run him as. For his setup, we're gonna run him as his main, his main sub. You can run him with full counter. You'll primarily use full counter unless you know you're going to a map that has a lot of units that are gonna auto attack you. Then you run HP regen, which is from the Dragon Cavalier. We're gonna run full counter. Primarily you would like to use his snowball at all times, which will give him a damage boost and agility boost. But you can also run a Captain's True Spirit, as it'll give him HP and some nice agility. But for the purpose of this, we run him with a Dragon Sin of Rat. You want to run him with Captain Spirit, which is the Overdrive passive. So if you don't have the Gate 2 passive, just run him with the Overdrive passive and this. We can run him with his old leadership skill, but you can run him with Dark Sane, Zhengyi, Levi, Jin. It's all up to you. But for the purposes of this video, we're gonna run him with his own leadership skill. Let's get into it. Alright, so that's the jewelry gen from the Gate 2 passive. Walk up, build some jewels. Dark up. So it's doing 2,174 damage from behind. Doing 2,167 damage from in front. Just a little bit boost for an attacker from behind, not a lot. Just crit that. Okay, now that we have jewels, let's get into his skills. So his first skill is Wrathful Retribution. This is the skill that gets upgraded when you max out his Gate 5. It quadruples your own physical attack, magic attack, and lowers your own physical defense and magic defense to 0. His second skill is Enchanted Hellblaze. Dark magic attack on units within area around self. Strong versus demons. So versus demons, damage is going to go up. It's a range 4, area 5, height 2 skill. So range 4. It's going to be somewhere here. Yep. So right now it's doing 3,944 damage. Let's use it. Doesn't look bad at all. His third skill is 1000 Divine Cuts. Dark slash attack that ignores defense on units within area. Powerful versus demons, area 4, lying 4, height 2. So it's gonna be like this. Versus demons, the damage is gonna go up. It's doing 3547 damage. And then he has the demonic form, which we're gonna skip a little bit for now. Now he has and now we walk to his sub. His sub has create shield that nullifies damage around self. So let's see how it looks. This is the shield right here. Shield, 1 turn left on it. Decreases damage from specific attack. His second skill in his sub is after movement strike on enemy and inflict stun. So it's a range 5, so it's a really high range. Wrathful strike from here, 100% stun, 1629 damage. It's gonna look like this. Now the unit is stunned. Pretty good. And we have the Reprise and Slash, which dark slash attack on enemy units within area. Lowers dark resistance for 3 turns, stackable twice. So let's use the first one. It's doing 2352 damage. Looks pretty cool. I saw him do that in the anime. Now it's doing 3072 damage, which is a pretty huge boost. Nice. Now let's review the demon form. So this is the demon form. It turns him into his demonic form, which raises all his stats. So right now, let's see. Right now, these are his stats. Let's go to the demon form. Now he looks like this. Now he has 9500 damage, 9505 HP. His physical attack went up a little bit, his magic attack went up a little bit. See his auto attacks. His auto attack is doing 4142 damage now. He gets access to new skills now. Okay, so the first skill. After moving dark, non-type attack on enemy units within area and interrupts cast. So it's a really far range. Yeah. Looks like this. Just did 5800 damage. Second skill is self-regeneration, which gives him back all his HP. Has 1 cast on that skill. His other skill is 6 strike flurry, 6 hit dark slash attack on enemy units, max HP. So it's essentially an HP card skill. It's doing 6978 damage. So let's attack with it. Cuts the unit's HP. Yep. And Demonic Wave. 2-hit dark strike attack on enemy units within area. It's a range 3, area 3, height 3. So it's doing 6348 damage right now. That's all, basically all the skills in his demonic form. Let's just use their full regen to see how it looks. Build some jewels. Let's see if we can do this. Reprise and slash. We're trying to get a little bit more juice, so let's skip Twin for a little bit. Now we use Actual Retribution, which is his buff. Now his stats are gonna look like as follows. His defense and magic defense goes down to 0, but his physical attack and magic attack goes up so high. Now that we have the debuff on Dark Resistance is down. Okay, now let's use his master ability. Sacred Treasure Release Lost Vein. So with the buff, it's doing 19,350 damage. So let's see how it looks. Okay, now we have our Meliodas really low. Let's see how far we can push him to his limit. So we use his buff. These are his stats right now. So auto attack is doing 10,000 damage. His second skill is doing 19,457 damage. His divine cut is doing 17,000 damage. These both are gonna get increased versus demons. His second skill in his sub is doing 15,000 damage. This skill is doing 14,000 damage. And now let's check his master ability. Now his master ability is doing 33,690 damage. This is with his HP this low, as it increases based on his HP. Let's use it again. Okay, my thoughts on Meliodas. Meliodas is a really good unit, and he's a collaboration unit, and he's guaranteed right now, so I highly recommend you do pick him up. However, if you already have like really strong units like Soul or Sang Yi or Dark Saint, you don't really have to go for him. But if you do go for him and you have the resources to invest in him, he's a really good unit for you to pick up, and he won't really let you down if you want to use him for manual play. Outside of that, he's a pretty good unit, and he has the the nostalgia purposes behind him. If you did watch the anime, so I'm gonna try to max him out. I'm gonna try to get enough shards to max him out. Thank you guys for watching, and do have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video when they release the other 7 units, or I might release a video after this for one of the regular units. Catch you guys later.